Hi friends, welcome back. Guys, in this video, I have picked another question from the Prelims 2022 and I am going to help you understand how UPSC thinks and frames question in the Prelims examination and how to study the current affairs so that you can also predict the questions in the Prelims. Guys, here I will show you how directly from my content in current affairs, directly question has come in the Prelims 2022. Guys, let us read the question first. With reference to Indian economy, what are the advantages of inflation indexed bond? Guys, this question was on inflation indexed bond. So before we read the question in entirety, let me tell you what was the current affairs and from where this question was framed. Guys, in the last 2 years you must have followed the current affairs. Inflation is a very big problem. Inflation is a very big problem and even the RBI is struggling to control inflation. And because of very high inflation, what is happening is that the real interest you are getting on your deposits is turning out to be negative. See, in October 2021, October 2021, I had one article in my daily prelims notes, negative real rates. And why? Because guys, what was happening was inflation was at record high, and because inflation was high and the savings rate, or the deposits rate of return was less than the inflation. So actually what was happening was your real rate of interest was turning out to be negative. Therefore, it was not logical to postpone your consumption or to save for future, because what happens is that when you are getting negative rate of return, then why will you invest in fixed deposits or in your savings account? Because you are getting negative rate of return. And that was a very big concern among investors. That was a very big concern among people who invest in fixed deposits. Therefore, in that same article, you see what can be done. In the same article I had given, you can see here, interest rates in India as at record low. This negative real rate of return is a risk to your investments. Is a risk for all investors. So almost all public sector banks and most private sector banks currently offer interest rates of 5%, 5.5%, and inflation is at 6%. So there was the real interest was negative. Therefore, what you see was floating rate instruments were to be considered by the investors. You see here, you may also consider floating rate instruments. Floating rate instrument means which is indexed to inflation, You can see here coupon rate of which is linked to interest movements in the economy. Some of them are floating rate savings bonds, or the payout option, PPF, Sukanya, etc. I had given. Even gold is considered a good investment because it is a very good hedge against inflation. And you see the same question UPSC has asked the same question. Let us now solve the question. So it says that government can reduce the coupon rate on its borrowing by way of inflation indexed bond. The second statement says that inflation index bonds provide protection to investors from uncertainty regarding inflation. This is correct. This is obviously correct. And the third statement says that interest rate received as well as the capital gains on inflation indexed bonds are non-taxable. This is purely incorrect. Guys, always, whenever UPSC will try to frame a question, frame a statement in such a manner that it will make it a complex statement. You see here, as well as, is trying to make a complex statement. It is adding two things and it's trying to make it complex statement. Generally those statements are incorrect. I'm not saying that you just solve entirely using your optional elimination. You should know the knowledge, you should have that in inflation indexed bond the interest is taxable. There are only specialized bond where interest is not taxable. Generally whatever interest you get in bonds, it is taxable. But here I am giving you an optional elimination trick. Whenever if you read the statement and if appears to you that it is artificially made statement, it is trying to club two things, generally that statement is incorrect. So third statement is incorrect, so the answer is 1 and 2 only. So the answer is 1 and 2 only. The larger point what I want to make here is not just the answer. You see how UPSC has framed every question in last year economy from the current affairs which was in news and which was affecting the day-to-day life of common people. Okay, so generally we think that UPSC is unpredictable. Guys, UPSC is unpredictable for people who do not know actually, okay, how UPSC frames question. What is the expectation of UPSC from the aspirant? Okay, but if you read the current affairs in a very strategic manner, in a very conceptual manner, like what we do in the daily prelims notes, I think you can solve each and every question from economy in the UPSC prelims, particularly economy. I see a lot of students struggling. I see many students, okay, they are reading a lot of, okay, huge notes, 700 pages, 800 pages, okay, notes, but in the end when exam comes, nothing comes from that notes. The reason is now UPSC is not asking very basic traditional things which are given in books and notes. UPSC is asking questions which is derived from current affairs, and that too with a reason. Many people can just say, okay, it was covered in their current affairs 2 years back, 3 years back, but guys, this was last year news. This was last year news, and it was a very big concern among investors. You can see here, I had covered it at least 2 times. In my notes. You can go and cross check on my website. You can also go and cross check in last year's my Optima notes. So this was a very important question, and UPSC framed the question on this topic last year. Guys, if you want such type of, okay, predicted questions or some type of predicted topics, guys, you can subscribe to my Lakshya or Optima series. In Lakshya, you have entire test of NCERTs, advanced test, monthly current affairs test, and the Optima, which is the most predicted questions, and the full length test. Or you can opt for only Optima. In Optima, you get the monthly current affairs test and my most predicted questions. Guys, I am also giving free current affairs classes for whoever subscribes to my test series, and this free current affairs classes are only on very important topics which are expected to be asked by the UPSC in the prelims examination. So guys, if you are preparing for prelims 2023, don't miss it. Guys, I have cracked the prelims examination 6 out of 6 times with one of the highest score you can see here, and I can tell you, if your system, if your strategy is foolproof, then result is guaranteed. If your strategy is foolproof and if you work as per the strategy, and if you solve a sufficient number of questions, because guys, practice is a must. Many a times what students do, they keep on studying, but they fail to apply whatever they have read. For example, if you see, if you have read this article, and if you have understood the article, then you can apply that concept here. And you can get the answer. And if you know my option trick, one of my option trick is what? That whenever there is a complex statement, whenever there is a statement made artificially by joining 2 or 3 concepts, generally those statements are incorrect in the exam. So you can eliminate and you can get. If you know this, and first of all, what actually happens is that if you are reading a current affairs magazine, and if those current affairs magazines are not covering the real news on which UPSC is framing questions, then what happens? Suddenly you go to the exam and suddenly you see inflation index bond, and you are scared because you don't know from where this question has come. You are not prepared for that question. But if you are strategically preparing, for conceptually preparing, then you know, okay, that this year inflation has been on rise. Okay, so questions regarding inflation will come. So your mind will be ready and will be expecting questions on inflation. You know, last year at least 3 questions were there on just inflation. Last year at least 3 questions were there on just inflation, and at least 3 questions were there on just rupee depreciation. You see, out of I think 15 questions in economy or 14 questions in economy, 6 questions were there on 2 very important concepts which were in news last year throughout the year. You can go and cross check in the current affairs. This was there in throughout. You can just Google it on and you will get a lot of news because of the high inflation and because of the rupee depreciation. And you saw 6 questions coming from these 2 small concepts. So if you had prepared these 2 small concepts in depth, then you would have got 6 out of 6 from this section. Out of 15 questions, half of the questions was from these 2 topics. You see, there are hundreds of topics in economy, 700 pages. Some students, they read notes 700 pages. Guys, if you strategically prepare and if you know what is going to come in the examination, then you can prepare strategically, and that is what is called optimization. And I am a big votary of optimization. Every year I try to pick out the important topics, important themes on which more number of questions are expected, and guys, you just need to solve 60 questions inside the exam hall correctly to get even the forestry cutoff also. Okay, you just need 60 questions because nowadays cutoff is around 90. Okay, so the forestry cutoff will be around 105. So you don't need more than 60 questions. So guys, if you know the 60 themes on which UPSC is going to ask question that year, and if you prepare it holistically, no one can stop you from selection in the prelims. That's why I say that prelims is not unpredictable. Prelims is predictable, and I have proved myself that prelims is predictable, and not once, 6 out of 6 times. So why can't you also crack the prelims easily? I see many students struggling with the prelims examination every year, and I feel very sad. The reason is they are following faulty strategy and faulty current affairs. Guys, you know 80% of the questions in the UPSC is motivated from current affairs, but you should read the current affairs very thoroughly and very conceptually. The problem here is that people are looking for only some micro notes or crux notes, and they lose out on concepts which are going throughout the year. So don't make that mistake. Still more than 60 days are remaining. I can tell you, if you follow my this entire test and if you attend my current affairs sessions, your chances of qualifying in the prelims increases very high. So guys, if you like the video, if you like the way I predicted this question in UPSC last year, please like the video and please share this video with all the students who are going for the prelims 2023 and who are struggling with the prelims, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.